Oh, I have to put my seatbelt on. Okay, here we go. Down the street. Oh, I don't have it on Zoom. Oh, I do have it on Zoom. Okay. Okay, here we go. We're going to go up 48th. Now, you might think that the Sierra wouldn't quite have as good a traction. I don't know, it might not have as good a traction, but it definitely has higher clearance. And yesterday, Diane had a hair appointment at 8:30 and the roads hadn't been plowed. And she got out in the middle of the street and got stuck. She was just sledding. She got up on top of the snow. And, well, we got her out, but she had to take the station wagon. The station wagon was just tall enough to get around get over all the snow, so that worked out pretty well. And she made it to her 8:30 hair appointment. Now in Minnesota, they plow one side of the street one day, and the next side, in Minneapolis, they plow one side of the street on the one day, the next day they come by and do the other, and looks like they've gotten most of the streets around here on both sides. Yesterday was a little bit more hazardous driving because they had only gotten one side of the street done. You know, this is out looking over Lake Harriet there on 46th Street. I didn't tell you why we're going to Sears. We're going to Sears because the old scoop shovel that I got from Grandpa with a red blade on it finally wore out, and the rivets, the blade got worn down to the point where I started scraping on the bottom of the blade, and I scraped one of the rivet heads off. But that was my favorite shovel because it helped me scrape a lot of the packed snow treads off the driveway. And I've got another one that's kind of like it. It's black, but it's got a longer lip on it, and you just don't get the same amount of leverage. So yesterday we went to Lindale Hardware and we went to Settigren Hardware and just couldn't find any. So we're going to go down to Sears and see what they have. They both basically bought from the same distributor. We're going to stop at Ron's Market here. Okay, all done at Ron's. We're going in. Back to Sears. Anyways, the shovels they sell nowadays are aluminum shovels with little plastic scraper blades on them, and it seems like all the stores all carry the same brands, and it really gets frustrating. Aluminum is just not a very, well, that's a Pan Am up there. You don't see many of those. Aluminum just doesn't scrape very well on cement. Plastic blade, I can't imagine how long that darn thing would last, so looking for a nice steel shovel with a short lip on it. Well, the roads aren't really too bad, but you can see all the drifts along the side of the street. Well, there's the plow to go around the car. Just, you know, this is kind of fun. You can see what you're missing out on here up in Minnesota. Really, you know, we all enjoy it. It's very pretty when you're on the back streets. This street gets kind of rough because of all the salt and sand they put on, but our street stays pretty white most of the time. And what's really amazing is how poor the drivers are in Minnesota. You know, people say Minnesotans are good drivers, but just people forget that when they step on the brake, they slide, and if they step on the accelerator, they spin. And people getting stuck. I was out in Hutchinson on Friday, had gotten up at my normal time, 5:30, and got in the driveway all blown out. There was only like, 3-4 inches at that time. It didn't seem that bad, and they were predicting quite a storm, but you never know what to expect. So I got out to Hutch about 8 o'clock. The roads weren't really that bad. and we were working on the experiment in the plant, and about 2 o'clock, or no, about noon, they said that, yes, they came over the PA system in the plant saying that they were going to shut or pull the county plows as soon as the school kids got home, and they were calling the schools early at 2 o'clock. So basically they were saying that they were going to stop the plows, county plows, at 2. And I called the state, and they said, well, the state plows will stay out as long as they can, but they didn't say, no, they didn't have any idea of what the individual plow people were seeing. I guess he's stopping. But they just said that they weren't recommending any traffic, and it had been snowing. They'd probably gotten 6 inches by noon, and the wind was blowing 30 miles an hour. And as I was walking out for lunch, the plant manager stopped me and said, Pete, well, I think you really better head home. Said the roads are getting pretty bad. So headed home, and it really wasn't that bad, but it was so windy that a lot of times you couldn't see where you were going. But I suppose I was able to drive, 50, 55 most of the way till I got into the cities, and I hit Chanhassen about 2:30, and it took me about a half hour to get from Chanhassen to Gleason Road, or Tracy, and crosstown was just jammed up. The speedometer wasn't even registering 5 miles an hour. So I got off at Gleason, and it took me an hour to get from Gleason Road, going up around, Tracy. Get from Tracy, and I took Tracy down to Vernon, and Vernon to 50th. It took me an hour to get home coming that way, just from Tracy and the crosstown. So it was really a mess. And again, if people knew how to drive, it'd be a lot different, but people were getting stuck at intersections because they were spinning their wheels and sliding through intersections because they forgot they skid. I don't know. Well, there's a good view of downtown in the northwest, or the, not the northwest, but the, northwest tower. Yeah, they have lights on that at night. In the morning when I go to work, it looks kind of neat. Okay, here we're getting off at Lake Street. Now we'll buzz down to 28th and over to Sears here. Get over this lane here. Well, they've really done quite a good job on the roads. Do I have to be in this? I think I can stay in this lane. I think it's supposed to get up to 20 today, and with the salt that they've put on, this snow will be gone in no time. It's supposed to get up to 40, which I can't believe, but on Wednesday, so I imagine that we'll be in the midst of a flood that time, because all the, this is what it was like driving in Hutchinson. Kind of packed road, but it wasn't slippery. If it gets up to 40, we'll be in a flood, because I'm sure all the drains will be iced over. Yeah, and when I got home Friday, I found out that they had told everyone at the 3M Center that they could go home early. Yeah, that's looking up 28 there. Oh, now we've got a green light. Okay. It's kind of fun. I wish we would have gotten a little more snow, but this is okay. Yeah, maybe clean the windshield off so you get a little better view. How's that? Well, I guess I could have brought the Sierra. Hardly any snow on the roads at all. Which is really pretty good since the storm just really ended yesterday morning. Really do a very good job cleaning the roads up. Of course, we're on the main streets. Now on the way home I'll take Portland up and we can see how they've done on the back streets. There's Sears. We'll go around to my favorite parking spot, and there's where Colin and Renner were born, Abbott, Northwestern. Oh, suppose I better wait. Boy, he's got a lot of work to do over there, huh? Okay. Didn't say no turn on reds, so guess we're okay. Well, we better shut down and put this away so people don't see me driving around with it down in this neighborhood. Well, that was kind of a wasted trip. They just had two types of shovels in there. Both were aluminum with little plastic scraper blades. I guess that's the way to shovel now, huh? Well, we're almost running out of tape on this cassette, and I didn't bring an extra one, so we're gonna kind of turn off, and what we'll do is drive back on 42nd is kind of a, we'll drive Portland to 42nd. And we might pick up some side streets with some more snow. Go for state lighting. Yeah, there's some snow straight ahead there as we go and see what's up. Get up to 31st that way. That's kind of a fun intersection in Chicago. We can cruise up that way. Get across. There aren't a whole lot of people out today. Most people are staying in. There weren't many people at church this morning. Against Powderhorn here. And back onto pavement. Well, we'll come back if we see any more snowy conditions here. We're here on 42nd Street, and they've got, looks like these roads are all in pretty good condition around here too. We're going to go to the Geese G-U-S-C hardware store and see what they can do for me there. Sometimes they'll look in their different distributors' catalogs and order you one if you find what you want there. I remember the name brand of that thing was Duro, so maybe there's something we can do with that. There's some kids playing in it's Martin Luther King Field. Sliding. We went sliding with Colin yesterday. Went down the hill and only went down once because there was so much snow. He got a face full of snow and didn't want to go anymore. Oh, that's what happens. I will sign off here. Well, Geese Hardware was closed. I guess we'll just have to hold off a bit. Maybe can look over by the center tomorrow, but here's a street where they haven't plowed curb to curb. This is 48th Street. We don't have that many snow days left in the year anyways, so it's not really the end of the world. Snowblower worked great. Had to use that about 3 times over the past couple of days. While we're here, we'll just drive down and take a look at the lake, okay? Okay, here we are. A lot of snow. Looks like we've had some skiers out. Oh, looks like they've even plowed the parkway. Oh, they take a quick drive down the parkway. Fine, normally they don't come through here with a plow. I don't know if I'm getting part of the lake or not. Kind of hard over these snow mounds. Out for that guy. Get a